Namaste, angels. This is going to be a client reading that I'm a little overdue on. I have to, well, I think I may be. Actually, I didn't check, to be honest. Because I just knew that I was all caught up and doing them. You know, I only had the ones that were ordered this week to do. And a woman contacted me. I actually was not working that day. I was in Pennsylvania at a friend's graduation party. But I read the message. You know, I don't get a lot of time to read messages otherwise when I am working, because my work is recording videos for hours and hours at a time. So when am I looking at an email if I'm doing that? But I was at a barbecue, so I was able to actually read my email. I know it's backwards, but that's how it went. And when she said she ordered, like, I didn't even... Normally, I would know right off the top of my head. Oh, yeah, I remember doing yours. I remember it like this. I don't remember doing it, so I'm going to have to get to it. So I said I'd look for it. I didn't. When I get a chance to, I will. And so she'll either have two or this will be it. On the positive, extra positive side of that, even when it's delayed, because every now and then I have one that's delayed for whatever reason, or, you know, just skipped over somehow. And there's always like a reason. It's like, you know, it's divine timing. It's divine timing. And the person will say, oh, I see why, you know, you had to do my reading on this day, because now this is going on. I got this message, you know, through your reading. And so as I go into doing that, I'm going to mention some stuff that I've seen. So there appears to be some stuff I've seen or felt. There appears to be a young male. I think the masculine may be younger. I mean, it could be somebody's son, but I just didn't get that feeling first off. I mean, we'll see when we lay out the cards. But also perhaps involving an air sign and or water sign. And I didn't see any court cards or anything of the suit of air. I just felt that. An air sign and a young male specifically. So even if it's a child, I'm not talking about a daughter. I'm talking about a son, a male child. I suppose it could refer to the masculine himself. So let's take a look and see. I'll start with the perspective of the masculine, as a matter of fact, beginning with relationship, which really more so refers to one's relationship with themselves and the need to work on that if they're going to, if they expect to be able to have healthy relationships with others. And one way that we can do that is through meditation. Meditation. And speaking of expecting, expectancy is about putting limitations on the universe with our expectations, like demanding basically of the universe that it give us what we want, how we want it, when we want it, as you know, as if divine timing isn't a thing and karma isn't a thing, and free will, you know, on our part to like contribute to our own life, basically, good or bad, isn't a thing. You know, we're just like demanding stuff of the universe, and really all it does is block one's blessings. So if you do want your dreams to come true, you have dreams, you have goals, you want to make intentions and have abundance flow to you. Again, one of the ways to go about doing that is through meditation and sort of like giving these cares and worries to the universe, and then allowing the universe to fulfill your dreams better than you ever could design it. You know, in the way it will. Dreams and spiritual growth, which is interesting because I was feeling, I didn't mention it just now, I guess I forgot, but I was feeling that there was one or both, at least one, I felt one, to be honest, in need of some sort of healing. And that may be why we're starting off with meditation so often too, showing up in the cards, or another reason why. But the spiritual growth here, and I have spiritual growth to start with from another deck. Dreams and guardian. So that would be to help us through this process that does ultimately lead to spiritual growth. The ability to let go of like our vision for everything, you know, when it's going to occur, how it's going to turn out, the outcome. We got everything all laid out. And the ability to cease to do that is certainly spiritual growth. I'm laughing because Heaven on Earth is a card about the need to absolutely let go of something, even if it is just the negative chords of attachment and emotion, like expectancy, to make room and give way for something better. Like, we want to be able to experience heaven on earth. We got to stop putting ourselves through hell by clinging to things that no longer serve us or a higher purpose. Very nice. Already the overall energy is sacred union. So we know with what we're working with, but there's some issues, not unlike, every other. This jumped out, for I guess this wants to be second. Every other couple, including the healthy ones. The divine feminine. Very nice. Wow. Okay. I like this. So we got these two blue and purple cards that are both about sacred union. This one is called Sacred Union, as you can see, and that was your overall energy. And this one that represents like where you are and your higher self, where your higher self is. Moon Tree is a card of sacred marriage. Including the marriage between heaven and earth. So it's funny that this is on the heels of that heaven and earth card. Very important that you let go of something that you're holding on to that is of no use to you anymore, or to the higher good. The next one is upside down, but it is soulmate. And maybe that's onto what you're holding. Maybe there's some sort of relationship with a soulmate. Even if you don't have an active relation, like cords that you refuse to allow to be cut. That can be the case, especially since that's what just came to me. The masculine about the feminine as it relates to the union, love. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We're off to an amazing start. And maybe this wasn't the case, 2 weeks ago when she ordered the reading. Maybe that's why I didn't do it. Why I was made not to do it. Not like I consciously decided not to. And I may have, actually. I may have. I didn't even check. I've had so much going on this week, but that is nobody's problem. Actually, it's not a problem at all. It was good stuff. My graduation, my friend's graduation, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, the masculine about himself here. Dreams, goals. And this is another one of these cards of the same scheme as these two. So we can safely presume that the dreams and goals are connected to this sacred union and this sacred marriage. That he has like plans for you. And we know they come from a place of love. We're seeing that too. And about the union as a whole, embrace. So, this more than one meaning. Yes, this can be an illustration of his feelings about the union, right? These people look very much in love in this, beautiful, tight hug. However, this card is also about the need for an individual's masculine and feminine to come together in a healthy, harmonious way. So that would be also an indication that the masculine feels a need that for the union to be able to look like this, the two of you each have some healing individually through which you need to go. So that you are of your own being in balance. This card represents also for me the sign of Sagittarius. in particular. I mean, it could be another fire sign or something too, I suppose. But the sign of Sagittarius in particular, because it gives me the feeling of the card Temperance in the tarot. Temperance in the traditional tarot, which for me is also linked to the sign of Aquarius, to be honest. Because there's always a water bearer on the Temperance card, like in pretty much every tarot I've ever seen. Particularly, just go with the traditional Rider-Waite. There's an angel standing in a pool of water, holding two vessels, pouring water back and forth. That's a water bearer. So why it's been attached to the sign of Sagittarius for the tarot, I don't know, but it has. But it's more importantly, it's a card that indicates the need for balance and healing. And it's a sign that the universe is sending you just that. Overall, transients, what I say about the healing, okay? So this is the overall energy of the spread is, yes, things are really, really beautiful here. But notice the color scheme again, the two that are about healing are also of the same scheme. And this is like head to toe. And allowing, again, the universe to do with you what it will. When I first mentioned that, I was talking about expectancy, but in order to get there to a place where we're no longer, like trying to dictate how our life goes and the outcome of every situation, we have to go through, some sort of healing. And again, meditation and surrender can absolutely help with that. Other kinds of energy healing as well. What would the masculine have the feminine do, to help, like toward this union, or to contribute, or to surrender, maybe let go of toward the union? And it is just the energy of surrender, period. That's what he wants you to do. Let go of these inhibitions and limitations and expectations and whatever's preventing her from growing into, the goddess that she can be, from, the goddess that she exists as now. And the energy of the moon and of the goddess is one of surrender, feminine energy of surrender. So that is the masculine suggestion. And it's cute that this moon is here underneath this moon too. So it's like, it also is like a surrender to allow for this to happen, like I mentioned when I held up the 3 cards of this scheme. What is the masculine himself willing to do here? He's going through like a healing period too, trying to become every day like this being that is better, a better version of himself, nearer and dearer to the universe. He is allowing for the healing because he knows that that's the way to his dreams and toward his goals. Awesome. What would the universe have the two of you to do? Surrender. And it is to spend time in nature, to connect with nature, with mother, with the goddess, all of the above. And that is going to help to open up the flow of abundance for you. How can you do this? Meditation. Again, it involves surrender. There's another nude female being here with her eyes closed, allowing the universe to do with her what it will. And because she's done that, here comes the flow of abundance in all of its forms. This is financial, material, and love. So that is what the two of you are guided by the universe to do. It looks like the masculine is on its way. It may be you more so, if he is at all, who is sort of pushing back on doing that. And you're really going to want to, it doesn't have to be meditation if you find you can't. Because some people say they just can't. Even with the guided, even with help, they just can't. You don't have to sit anywhere Indian style in a pose to meditate. That's not the only way. Different forms of exercise that can bring people peace, yoga, stretching, even core exercises can sometimes help to restore peace and balance to people. It makes them feel good because endorphins, when we exercise, right, the positive endorphins start going. Also, anytime we spend out in nature, even if we're on a walk or sitting on a park bench, we're not exercising anything at the moment, maybe but our minds. and our souls. We're engaging with the universe. We're looking for a place of peace. And it helps, in my opinion, but you don't have to do this either. If you include in that meditation some sort of audio, and even if it's just regular music, and you're just sitting there, you know, to yourself, bopping to whatever your favorite genre of music is, even that is spending time with nature and connecting to it and to yourself. So all of those. But again, if you still feel that that's not going to work for you, then there are other, you know, ways to seek energy healing, including, you know, through other people like myself. But I'm not the only one either. You know, but there's levels to it, degrees to it, and different, you know, everybody's not the same. Everybody's not made the same. And, you know, everybody doesn't heal in the same way or through the same mechanisms. So there's different things that we have to try and employ. That said, what's the outcome of this spread? Doing just that. And you're never alone when you do it. So even if you don't seek the help of another being on this plane in the 3D, you still have help that you can always call out to, reach out to, in whatever manner you see fit in doing that. Whether it's getting on your knees and praying, whether it's, you know, just I'm going to make some sort of intention. I'm not going to pray. I don't believe in God. Whatever it is, however you decide to do it, call on the support system of, you know, the other realms, the spiritual realms in which you believe. And, you know, however you choose to do that. Lastly, I didn't point out the color scheme of these two. God is love. The universe is love. And that's the guardian. Speaking of the universe and the guardian, from its perspective, we'll do another spread, beginning again with spiritual growth and opening to mature women, which may be having something to do with the young male that I was thinking about as I was shuffling. I don't know, it just came without the cards, actually. Anyway, mature woman and brunette female. This tends to be an energy representing something karmic. Karmic in that derogatory sense that it's been come to be used. You know, so that's why I put the air quotes. Because that's not really what karmic means. Karmic just means something of the universe, like destined or whatever, that involves a lesson that we have to learn. That's all. But this brunette female, when she comes up, in many cases is an actual female in one's life or the life of their partner or, you know, the surrounding, and is a negative energy, honestly. Brunette female and children. 1, 2, 3 children. Party of 3. That can be from where she comes. She can be these children's mother. Perhaps. I'm just thinking she may be one of the children. I mean, she may be. You know, could be siblings. Let's get further into it. She's back, brunette female, and dating. Dating. More full moon. We're not long off of a full moon, and we're not far from a new moon, actually. There's one next week. Coming to the energy of Beauty Queen, which is about feeling good, confident, esteemed, attractive, and actually like being those things too to other people. They see you that way as well. The overall energy is gifts, and this can be attached to that spiritual growth. I also felt that these can be some physical gifts. So let's see what's going on. Divine couple. From the perspective of the universe right now, what's going on? Recent past. Near future. Masculine's higher self. Blocks to the union. the feminine can do, what the masculine can do. Further advice from the universe and the outcome. Divine couple. Family. Okay, so maybe you guys are the party of three, or this is the energy that surrounds you. At least, which is a beautiful one. And I'm getting like spiritual family. So I'm getting kind of like trilogy of light, or trilogy of light, which showed up in the last spread for the masculine, of what he was willing to work toward himself. So that could be from where this is coming as well. I think family was also the outcome this week in the collective reading. So that may be like the overall energy surrounding these unions and everything. Recent past, wallflower. So somebody being presented with the question from the universe, posed with the question, are you going to sit it out or dance? This person very easily could be a Gemini, Capricorn, or Scorpio, but doesn't have to be. Near future. Gossip. Gossip crossing the family. Interesting, because I felt sibling before when I was looking at the children and that woman. So this could be somebody's sibling too. And now we have gossip crossing family. Masculine's higher self. This is the energy of the karmic energy in the masculine version, like that brunette female. Again, she represents the feminine energy. It's not actually always a person, but where it is does tend to be a female, and this is the male version, the karmic energy for me. Also sort of gives me the feeling of the devil in the tarot, so it can be a representation of the sign of Capricorn again. So it definitely could be an earth sign involved here too. Blocks to the union. And this is going to be interesting because it too will be crossing the gossip and the karmic male for one thing. Long distance. I forgot to mention, this was one of the things that I felt as I was preparing. I felt separation. Long distance doesn't always mean that to me, but now that I see this, I'm reminded that I was feeling separation here too. I have like all these things flowing through my head. What can the feminine do? Underneath family is children, and it's another party of three sitting here next to this gossip. What can the masculine do here? Mature man. Well, this is weird. Mature man can actually be someone's father, a father. It's that energy kind of the emperor, but I have another card in this deck that really says emperor to me and even looks like it would be the emperor and represent the planet Mars. This is more so like that overbearing aspect of Aries and Capricorn. I mean, well, yeah, sometimes Capricorn. I guess that was a Freudian slip. But I meant to say Aries and Scorpio. Further advice from the universe. You've got a bunch of obstacles to move out of your way. But like you have to help to do it. It's there to support you and to move things for you too. But again, you have to stop putting the obstacles that you're putting in front of yourself. You got to stop doing that. And again, one of the ways that you're doing that is with these expectations. Those are blessing blockers. So those are essentially obstacles. Also, there's this space that I'm feeling. I feel it's physical separation, but whatever, even if it's metaphoric or both, like this is within you guys' control. This is within your control. And that may be one of the things the masculine can be the mature man about, and like, you know, like stop being silly and just come on back or talk to me and let's fix this. Not continuing to listen to maybe outside sources or to participate yourself in gossip. Very likely about the feminine herself, like listening to negative things, not even like defending her against them, is what I'm getting. And the outcome is this card that represents the divine feminine for me in the tarot. So like the outcome is like to like step up and come to your senses and her aid, basically. And that, in that sense, that will be you removing some of the obstacles from in front of yourself as well, because you're putting them between you. You're allowing even if you're allowing other people to put distance between you, that's you doing it by your allowance. All right, let's get some more definitive. More details, I'll say. Beginning with the Two of Air, being unable or unwilling to make a decision, a stalemate, pretending there's no problem. This is an energy of non-action for me, like where there needs to be action. I'm not saying you should rush to it, like rush to judgment and stuff. I don't mean that, but there needs to be action because it's not going to go away. But right now, there's non-action. And opening to the Dreamer with Archangel Metatron, a leap of faith, follow your dreams, that leads to unexpected opportunities. Two of Air. Oh, very nice. And the Two of Fire, you've come into your own. New partnerships or contracts continue to move forward. There can be people speaking against you coming into union and you allowing that, or, you know, even in a 3D sense, and then you allowing that to keep you apart, allowing people to talk you out of it. Like, well, you guys don't make sense because, and it can be your family or his family, you know. Two of Fire. And coming to the Page of Fire, who's outgoing, creative, confident, and mischievous. And like that Embrace card represents the sign of Sagittarius for me, but can be another fire sign too. Aries, Leo, maybe even a Scorpio, a younger one. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. Page of Fire. And the Six of Air, things are looking up. It's the end of a difficult situation. You may even be taking a trip. So it's a card of movement. And even if we're not taking an actual trip, as in like a vacation, we are traveling forward, you know, so it's at least metaphorical. Page of Fire, I'll go one more. And speaking of moving, it's the Eight of Water, a desire to move on. The search for something more meaningful and spiritual and emotional growth. Page of Fire. And we're back to the Dreamer. I didn't mention before, the Dreamer does represent for me the sign of Gemini and also Virgo, because it represents the planet Mercury. That may be in part with the gifts I was feeling. Again, if somebody's an air sign, and maybe more specifically a Gemini, they could be getting some gifts, like a birthday gift right now. In any case, a leap of faith, follow your dreams, that leads to unexpected opportunities, is what the Dreamer calls for you to do. The Dreamer is the Fool in the traditional tarot. Overall energy is the Ace of Air, brilliant new ideas and inspirations, seeing the truth of a situation and a challenging beginning. I like the sound of seeing the truth in a situation, because I can't really get my mind off of the gossip in the family. I keep getting pulled back there, and I'm trying to move forward with the reading. I think some truth comes out, and perceptions are corrected very soon. And they may come out. That may be why the Gemini keeps showing up, particularly if there's not necessarily an air sign involved. It could just be the energy of Gemini itself, and or Mercury, its ruler, or Venus, its ruler. Because there is a Gemini moon next week. And it is, at least according to my feelings, going to be all about, similar to the Ace of Air, your overall energy. And is that the Lovers? Hang on. No, it's the Empress, but that's another card of Venus. I was being made to see that, sorry, and got distracted. The new moon is going to be in Gemini, 22 degrees Gemini. And so it is going to be, from my feelings, about new ideas, new information, absolutely truth. These are all the things that Gemini rules and is about. Communication, thought, truth. So it can be that as well. And that's why I just got a feeling of very soon. But next week is that new moon. So that's pretty soon. Crowning the masculine is the Three of Fire, abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time and make long-term plans. The Three of Fire is absolutely about abundance, and like being on our way. Like we're almost there. We just need to put one more stake in the ground to have like a really solid foundation here. It's also connected to, what I call parties of three, however, like a third energy being involved somehow. Not necessarily a love triangle, but that's a possibility, and it tends to be more so a possibility with the Three of Fire in particular, because the wands, or fire element, are considered phallic in the tarot. But again, it's not necessarily. This can still be like gossip among families, yours or his or both. And family doesn't have to mean blood relations. It can be other people who are close to you, close friends as well, who were like in your ear or in his ear, is more so what it looked like with negativity and such. Surrounding the masculine, the Two of Air, being unable or unwilling to make a decision, a stalemate, pretending there's no problem. So this is that energy again of inaction. And maybe there's an action that needs to be taken with regard to this Three of Fire, and he's just not doing anything about it. Like if I don't do anything about it, maybe it'll work itself out, or maybe it'll go away. I know it needs attention, but maybe it'll just handle itself if I leave it long enough. In the masculine subconscious, the Nine of Air, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, and sleepless nights. Whatever this thing is, he's all worked up over it. And it's keeping him up at night. And he can end up bringing negativity into his own life accidentally by these thoughts and worries. This is what we need to give to the universe in meditation. Crowning the feminine, the Seven of Earth, seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, an unnecessary worry. Not that the masculine's worry is necessary, his isn't necessary either, and they're mirroring one another. These two aspects of worry that we shouldn't have, that we need to give to the universe. Yours is in a healthier way, in a more dispensable way, because if you can just really remind yourself that once we've planted seeds, it's elementary that they grow, even if we can't see them. You know, we can expect that they will grow. His is more, especially in this placement too, and being of the air element, which again is controls thought, and that includes overthinking. His is more where he is in danger, again, of manifesting negativity into his own life. Surrounding you. Oh, another 3. It's the Empress. Lavish abundance. Give birth to your dreams. Nurture yourself and others. Well, this can have to do with pregnancy. And then that can be how you're going to formulate a family. It can be with new ideas, being pregnant with new things and new ideas and new abundance and new opportunities as well too. But we've seen a lot of 3s. I think this may be like the 4th or 5th 3 thus far, between family, children, the 3 of fire. This is my 2nd time seeing the Empress, so that's 5. The Empress represents the planet Venus for me, ruler of Taurus, Gemini, and Libra. Feminine subconscious. The Queen of Earth, thoughtful, creative, warm, and sensible. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach and deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. The Queen of Earth is a Taurus, perhaps, Capricorn, or Virgo, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. She's like mothering too. She can be absolutely a mother. She's a nurturer. Some of you thinking about things like motherhood too. Queen of Earth is also somebody that helps you to become abundant in all of its forms as well. This can definitely be you with motherhood. And if you've been trying to, if you have a seed planted inside you and you're worried about it, again, that's unnecessary worry too. If you've been worried about like trying to become pregnant, that's unnecessary worry as well. And it's a good time for you to work on it now when this card keeps showing up. Crowning. Renewal with Archangel Jeremiah. Review and evaluate. A favorable assessment of the facts. It's time to move in a new direction. This is about coming to a crossroad and needing to decide, as it relates to relationships at least, needing to decide, like, where do we go from here, if anywhere? You know, do we continue? Do we stop? We go left? We go right? What are we going to do? As it relates to abundance, it is about abundance that is earned. It can be connected to raise, promotion, elevation, both on this plane and the 5D and better, you know, so it can be like the universe promoting you. Christians use that kind of term often, you know, that they're coming into a place of promotion. Yes, the universe or God does promote us, and then that tends to manifest itself here too in some form. We'll become more abundant here. Crossing the Empress, which is also about abundance, and this being about abundance earned, absolutely. You can expect it, and you put in the work that you need to get it. Even if this abundance relates to a bundle, as in of joy, you've done what you were supposed to do, and now we let nature take its course. Essentially, at the root, the Queen of Air, who's independent, experienced, realistic, and witty, objective decision making, clearing away all that no longer serves you, and seeing the humor in a situation. The Queen of Air is a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And here we would have underneath this Empress or Venus card, as well as crossing both of her aspects, her aspect as the Queen of Air and her aspect as the Queen of Earth. So this can very much be about Venus too, showing up in your life to make you more abundant, with, you know, bringing new blessings upon you. At the heart of the matter, wow, the Ace of Water, falling in love, or the resurgence of a relationship. spiritual growth and enhanced intuition, maybe even a new home. Ace of water rather, also about the birth often of something new, even if it is a new relationship between two old relations, as in reconciliation, and it coming about in a new way, a new and more healthy way. We're starting over, basically, fresh, blank slate. We're reconciling, and it's good. The way things existed before, they will never exist like that again. They're going to be better. So if they were good before, they're going to be even better now. If they weren't so good before, don't worry, they're going to be awesome now still. Ace of water can also be attached to pregnancy and a baby, as again, these other threes can be, and the energy of family and the energy of children, and the young male that I was feeling before I even did anything. Maybe that's a future son for you. She might say, like, young male, what the hell is she talking about? Maybe he's not here yet. He hasn't come yet, but he's coming. We'll see what happens when we add the romance cards. This is pretty interesting. But the Ace of Water can be about any kind of new, really emotionally fulfilling blessing. It's going to bring you great joy, whatever this Ace of Water represents. Going to the romance cards, I'm beginning with make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. And opening 2, let go of control issues and allow this situation to unfold naturally. So this is similar to that energy of expectancy. Let go of control issues. And soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Very nice. Soulmate. And worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. I'm thinking, I was feeling where the young males thing started to come from. I sat down and I started getting ready, and I started feeling like this energy surrounding me of like the page of water. And then as it developed, it felt like a male, a masculine energy of like the page of water. So a younger male. We didn't see any page of water in this reading, but I'm just telling you where I got that from. Anyway, soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. And honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. This is sort of like the 6 of air, right? That card of movement, of travel forward. It can be connected to the timing of the moon that I mentioned as well. This can be about the Gemini moon, and maybe enjoying the honeymoon phase of a reconciliation, or of a reunion, or just of entering a new, more healthy chapter. You know, where there is no separation, just growing together. And that could be the gift that you're receiving, the growth there. Soulmate and children, yet again. Your love of children, your love life is being, your love of children, I don't know where that came from either. Your love life is being affected by children. Soulmate. Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. The overall energy is it's safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. I did just feel as I was shuffling that like one's child or the others or children can also be involved, and like trying to make the decision whether or not to form a blended family. And thoughts about that and how to approach that. Atop the Three of Fire, this could be the one you've already met, the romantic partner you seek. So you're almost up to a Four of Wands, which would be a card of, you know, commitment and potentially even marriage, but certainly healthy foundations with this person that he's considering might be the one. The universe coming, the romance angels saying yes. Atop the Two of Air, religious factors. Your love life is being influenced by your religious upbringing, spiritual path. So definitely something, it's like a heart over head decision for him. And maybe this is one of the things that people have been in his ear about. Like, you weren't raised like that to, you know, something about some sort of barrier to the relationship. And he's like battling with whether or not to go against his ideologies and the way that he was raised, or to go against his own like heart or whatever. Atop the Nine of Air, and what he's thinking about is an unhealthy connection, relationship came to mind first, but it doesn't have to be a relationship. Any person, place, a thing with which we have some sort of toxic connection, or that has one upon us, is a codependent relationship. But I think it's one with a person, and that could be what he's deciding. Like, I got to leave a relationship alone, but I wasn't raised, you know, to do it this way, and that maybe it's because it involves family. He's hesitant to let a situation go, but he really is guided to do it. Like, it's not healthy for him, and that's why it's causing him the sleepless nights and like mental anguish, mental frustration. So he could definitely use some healing too, poor thing. Atop the Seven of Earth. Chemistry, there's a strong magnetic attraction here, and it's growing. But that's what seeds and things that are planted do. As I talk about the healing that's necessary, the ambulances have started outside, the sirens. I don't know if you can hear it. There they go. They're still going. Ooh, okay. Atop the Empress is pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Well, there's a red flag right here. It's another 3. The Three of Fire. So I don't know if this man has any children. And again, all the cards can have more than one meaning, but for one thing, I'm feeling that he has a child or children and a toxic relationship with their mother, that he doesn't need to do that. Let me keep going though. See what else comes up. Atop the Queen of Earth. Wedding. This situation involves marriage. So this is a card of growth too, and can be a gift, part of the gift from Venus, and representative of the sacred marriage and sacred union we've already seen evidence of. Atop renewal or judgment. Make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So you're at the crossroads, you want to figure out what to do and how to get there. You have to make the effort, both of you. Atop the Queen of Air, passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy, which is not necessarily something the Queen of Air would do. This is more of a fire sign element, but it's saying, but right now, guess what? The Queen of Air, Venus, is in Leo. So you can use this energy. It's available to all of us. Well, she enters Leo this week, actually. And it's available to all of us, this passion. Fire. At the heart of the matter, atop the Ace of Water and the new start. Boom, true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. And I'm just reminded, now that I'm picking up the cards, of your overall energy, that the new start does happen. It ends up happening, but it's difficult getting there. And part of the difficulty, I would say, is here on the side of the masculine, where he's dealing with this air element as well. He is dealing with maybe the need to use the Queenofswords sword to cut something out of his life that's not healthy. He's dealing with mental anguish and frustration because he does not know what to do about a decision that he needs to make, so he's just not making it. So that's the difficulty, right? A challenging beginning, but it's a beginning nonetheless. Further from the Tony Carmine Solano Universal Love Oracle to the masculine retreat. So this is the energy of air signs and of earth signs. So it can be the energy of Venus, yet again, who is the queen of both. And more specifically, if I had to pick the air sign, Aquarius, but you see all this other air floating, could easily be Gemini, Libra as well. And earth sign, she's sitting here in grass and flowers. But more importantly, this is about connecting with the universe and the need to do that. So the masculine guided to do that too is part of the healing process as well. And opening up that flow of abundance that we talked about. To you, from that same deck, it is back. Expectancy. This is a big issue with you. You've got to cut these cords to, you know, these negative emotions. Negative cords of attachment is what I'm getting. That's what's holding you back. That's causing you to put obstacles in front of yourself because you're blocking your blessings. To the masculine, here's a young male I was feeling. So again, maybe he has a child separate and apart from one that you two may have together at some point, if you have not already. And the fact that this young male can be that child if you blend families, I think he's got a situation with his mother. And if it's not that, then the masculine himself is the young male and he has a situation with his own mother. Or both. Because again, we're getting back to the way with which he was raised. So his family, his mother, his siblings even could be saying, you can't behave like this. It's not okay. But to not behave however it is they're accusing him of behaving is to go against his own self. And that's the problem. Aw. Well, this should make you feel better, even with this, despite all of that. Twin flame. So divine union being confirmed yet again for a third time during this reading. Masculine, the king of water, trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice and charity work, which is love. He's being told to choose love, to give love unconditionally, without agenda. Just give it, be open to receiving it, all of the above. To you from the angels, the king of earth. Generous, professional, responsible, and practical is the king of earth. A successful time, confidently accept opportunities you're offered. You have the Midas touch. Awesome. This is abundance that wants to find its way to you. As soon as you put down those barriers, here it comes. The king of earth is a Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And the king of water is a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, someone likened to those traits or attributes. He needs to free himself, lastly. So this is breaking away from this codependent situation that's surrounding him. It's time for him to take back control of his life. Aquarius style. That's what an Aquarius would do. You know who's in Aquarius? Mars, the masculine planet of action. So whereas he has this inaction here, the masculine planet of action is in Aquarius. And it's also the masculine planet of love. I hope that you have enjoyed your reading, that you find it helpful. And if I come across that other one, when I get a moment to actually look for it, I will give you that one too if I find one. Namaste, Angel.